Hi everybody, it's Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. As you saw at the beginning of this video, I'm dedicating this video to my very good friend, Diane Squires, who was my mentor, my accountability partner, my fellow Stampin' Up demonstrator, a wonderful mother and wife, and an amazing friend. I'm making this video for her because I know that she would want me to continue to run my business and to continue to share what I love. Because she encouraged me to do so and inspired me to be a better human. I designed this card for her because she loved pink. And this week I'm using Artistically inked for the whole week, and it's retiring. And it's an amazing bundle. And she was an amazing woman. I'm using perennial postage for the sentiment, and I'll talk about that a little more the further we get in. But for those of you who knew her, I'm sure you loved her. And for those of you who didn't, just keep her family in your prayers. It's a big loss. She left a big hole, but I know that she's no longer in pain. She battled for 2 years, was super strong. And I'm so grateful to have had her in my life and to have called her my friend. Okay, let's get this party started. Oh, that's what I used to tell her when we would talk on a weekly basis as accountability partners. We would get on our call together on a video call, and I would say, okay, Diane, let's get this party started. So I'm just looking up right now. I know you guys can't see me looking, but I'm looking up because I know that's where she is. And I'm letting her know, let's get this party started. All right, so this is a piece of 5.5 by 8.5 basic white thick. And I tend to use white thick when I'm doing card bases. I am using the scallop contour dies as well. I forgot to pull those out for the beginning of this video, but let me show them to you now. They're also retiring, and they're probably one of my most favorite die sets. So I am using the third one from the inside, or the third one from the outside. I guess there's 5 of them. Yeah, so the middle one. And that's what I've used on our card right here. But this border is fantastic. I laid it across my cardstock after I had scored it and ran it through the die cut machine. And this part come out, and that's what you're left with. I haven't scored it yet because I wanted to wait to do that with you guys. So when you score, you always want the raised part up. There's a raised part and an indented part. I know the lighting here is not the best, but I rented this Airbnb to be close to her. I am about 2 miles from her home, and today is actually her funeral and church service and celebration of life. And so that's why this is a premiere and not a live video, but I thought it was perfect way to commemorate her and my memories with her. So when you are scoring, the raised part is facing up, and then you turn towards the raised part. And then I just scored along that line there. So I'm gonna give it one more burnish so it'll lay a little flat for me. All right, so on the inside, you can see here we have a polka dotted designer series paper. And I chose that paper again because it's pink, and I'm trying to do pinks since pink was her favorite color, as well as it's my favorite color. So it was something that we shared. This little piece of DSP is 1 inch by 5.5 inches. And so let's go ahead and attach that on the inside and get that out of the way. So it is from the Bright and Beautiful 6x6 paper pack. It was in this year's annual catalog, but it is carrying over, which I'm so happy about because I love it. And I've almost used the entire pack. It is rare that I use an entire pack of DSP because there's just so many DSPs and I can't choose just one, so I use way too many. And yeah, but this one I have used so much. All right, so there is our piece here at the bottom. And so I'm going to use my little roller. You guys know I love this. If you would like to purchase one of these, it's linked in the video description. A lot of people ask me about it and they'll leave a comment about it, but it is linked in the video description so you could get right to it. It's the 2.5 inch. Sorry for my sniffles. I'm trying to get myself together. Okay, so there is our card base. I have die cut from the Artistic dies out of bubblegum. This die cut right here. It's super beautiful and intricate. And oh my gosh, I love it. So that is gonna be the next piece. We're gonna place it probably like so on our card right here on this edge on the right side. You can see in my little baggie, I've pieced all the pieces together. I cut a piece of cardstock. I believe it was like 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I fit this die across it. And I knew that it was not gonna reach all the way to the bottom, but I didn't need it to be one complete piece, since I was using it in bits and pieces for my florals. So 2 3/4 wide by 4 1/4 long was the piece, and it's Pool Party. So I'm gonna set that off to the side. We're gonna use that shortly. And then I have stamped and die cut out these smaller flowers right here and these larger rosettes. So in the stamp set, we have a larger and a smaller rosette. And here is the scalloped rectangle I was talking about. So I'm just gonna pull these out so that I'll be ready. And I did 3 in each color, and I'll explain the colors when it's time to work on those. But for right now, let me just get everything out of this little baggie so I don't have to think about that. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna adhere this piece down. So I'm just gonna turn it over, and in the spots that have kind of a larger area, I'm just gonna put a little bit of adhesive. It's not gonna go everywhere on this piece because I don't want it to show, but I am gonna put it in bits and pieces here and there along this die cut just to hold it in place, okay? So once I have it, the double leaf is to the right. This point, I'm gonna turn it a little bit. This point is a little bit off. It's not dead on center. And this leaf right here kind of goes to that curve. And I'm just gonna push down so that wherever I added that little bit of glue, it's just gonna hold it in place. So the next thing that I'm gonna do is put my dimensionals on the back of my scalloped contour rectangle. One more. Okay. That's plenty, right? Let's go ahead and pull the backs off. Come on. I didn't do announcements like I normally do in my premieres because on my lives I do a lot of announcements because I had another live on Tuesday with another card. It's for my triple panel card. And if you missed that, you can catch the announcements there and watch that video. It's a really good video, not just because it's mine, but it's a beautiful card and a different fun fold. So you may be interested in it. And I will link it up here at the end of the video, like in this corner. So look for that at the very end of the video. And then you can also get your announcements because I did do all the announcements of stamp camps that I'm doing and different events that are happening and what I'm gonna be doing in the future. So just, that's where you can find out about the new kits and all that good stuff. All right, so we've put down our rectangle. That's the next step. I wanna make sure that it's not too, there we go. I needed to just shift it slightly. All right, so there is our little rectangle. I think it looks pretty good. I don't know, I keep thinking it's not right, but it might just be my eye. Let's see. Yeah, that's good there. All right. Luckily, this little piece that I pulled on is going to be covered by flowers. No one will see it. All right, so let's talk about our flowers. So I used Flirty Flamingo, and that's it right there. And I used Melon Mambo. And Melon Mambo, I wish it looked like this when I stamped it, but it looks more like a cherry or a reddish pink. And so that's what that looks like. And so what I did was I stamped off by stamping this color, I mean, not this color, putting my ink pad into here and then stamping off, and then you get this color right here. It's really, really pretty. All right, so those are the two colors that I used. The other pink, this is Bubble Bath, and this tends to be Bubble Bath, so we have that Bubble Bath color as well. On this corner here, I want to put my flower, but I want some leaves behind it. So here's where this comes into play. I'm even going to use this little piece off to the side here, okay? So I'm just going to kind of trim that like that. And this at the top here, I'm going to trim it right at this point. And we're gonna have two leaves. These are gonna go about right there, okay? This wide leaf right here, that's kind of separated. I'm gonna just snip that at some point right here. We're gonna use that, and then I'm gonna separate these two pieces here, okay? So we're gonna put one there, and then, whoops, one there. And we'll just discard the stem part. All right, so we have it kind of broken up. Now the sentiment here, I've stamped that on Bubble Bath, and what I did was I also stamped off. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So let me move this to the side so I can share that technique with you. We're just gonna grab a piece of scrap paper. I'm a big scrap paper lover. And so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna ink up your stamp. Now it takes 2 stamps to make this sentiment, but I wanted to use it because it exemplified my relationship. And it says, I can't thank you enough for your friendship. And that is the truth. I literally cannot thank her enough for her friendship, which was amazing. So what you want to do is ink it up full strength. You're going to stamp off, and then you're going to stamp it on your piece of bubble bath, okay? So pretend this is the piece of bubble bath. You see how nice that is? That's the right color. This is too dark. That's the color I want. And so now we are going to clean our stamp, and then I will bring in the next stamp and show you how that one works, okay? I actually could have done it for you right here, couldn't I have? On the back side, but it's okay. So the next stamp says, thank you for your friendship. So I didn't want it to be 2 separate. I wanted it to say, I can't thank you enough for your friendship. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna turn that, and I'm gonna just grab a piece of scrap paper. It happens to be a scrap that I had left over in bubble bath. And I'm gonna take my ink pad and covering up the word you so that it doesn't get inked, I'm just gonna ink up the other part, okay? Then I can toss that to the side. And then we're gonna, again, stamp off anywhere, okay, on your paper. Now I'm gonna come in, and I'm gonna try not to get my head in the camera, but I'm gonna bring this down slightly so I can see. And we're gonna put for your friendship right underneath you enough. And you can see that there's quite a little gap there to leave room for the T, but we're gonna put this close, but not too close, okay? For your friendship. Like that. And doesn't it look like it's all one sentiment? And I think it's perfect. It perfectly fit her, and I wanted, I just thought it was the perfect way to tell her thank you. All right. So that's how you do your sentiment, and I already have it stamped, as you can see. I could have done it right for you, shouldn't I have? I don't know. I guess I was in the middle of creating. Sometimes you just create and you forget that you have to redo what you're doing. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna slide this card up here for a minute. The reason we want to do this first is because this piece here is gonna set the layout, if you will, of where to place our flowers based on where the words are. So I'm just literally working my way around this piece using my snips. I'm going to come in here, and then I'm going to go around this K. And then little by little, we're gonna work our way all the way around, okay? So we're gonna go this way, and then come in and back, and in and back. It's a little harder to fussy cut when you're using such thick cardstock. Stampin' Up's cardstock is super thick, heavyweight. Sometimes you'll bend, but don't worry, it won't show once you're done. Just be gentle and try not to get that many creases in your cardstock. But I have gotten creases in my work before, people don't notice it, so. I just really wanted to fussy cut this out. I wanted it to be on another color rather than just on the white, and that's why I chose to do that. So there is that part. We're in the home stretch, right? All right, I'm gonna come in a little bit because I kind of want to have that little dip in the U or the Y of the U there. Not in the U, the letter, but in the U, the Y of the U. There we go. And I'm gonna bring that up to meet this piece. There we go. All right, and then now that I have that in there, I can come back over and work my way around that letter Y. And back around to the end where we started. And if you have to clean anything up, now's the time to do that. Sometimes I get points where I don't want points, or I come too far out when I'm fussy cutting like I did right here. So I'm gonna trim it in a little. This is like the cleanup part, right? All right, so there is, perfect. So I can't thank you enough for your friendship. So let's get rid of this. And I'm gonna attach that right here with our multi-purpose. I'm just going to slide this into place. And I want this to be in between the third and the fourth scallop. So 1, 2, 3. So in between those two scallops is where the word friendship is gonna go. And then just make sure it's straight, like that. And there we go, we have our sentiment. Now we can start placing our florals. And so what I wanna do first is I just want to lay them out how I want them to look. It's never gonna be exactly how I have them down right now, but I'm gonna try my best, okay? So I'm gonna put that one there. We're gonna add this one like this, probably on top. Maybe out a little, yeah, like that. And then we are going to take, I think this one, and tuck it here. And then, I'm not sure, maybe this one not there, here, yeah. And it'll stick out a little bit. And then this one, actually, I'm gonna just use this one that's attached to make my life easier. Yeah, because it already has the perfect placement. So let's do that, like that. And then at the top, I wanna use a few of these. So I'm gonna use this one on this side, and I'm gonna tuck that kind of under here. I might have to trim that end a little bit, but it's gonna be up here somewhere, okay? And then this one, I'm gonna probably place it somewhere here under that rosette. So that leaves this one, which can go up here. And then this one is gonna be tucked underneath here where you won't even be able to tell that it's has a little broken part. I'm gonna put that in last at the very end. So I'm not gonna move these right now. I'm gonna put a little glue on this corner. And I'm gonna tuck it under my flower when I'm happy. There we go, with where it is. Come on, stick to my flower. There we go. All right, perfect. And this one, I'm gonna put adhesive on the stem area and have that stick to that flirty flamingo flower, like that. Once that's adhered, I'm gonna do this one the same way. Put some adhesive and get it to stick behind. Perfect. All right, so the first flower that's going to get glued is going to be this one. And it's going to be attached like this. I move this over. And remember, this comes here just like that. This one's over. I love how this looks. Oh my goodness, so pretty. And this one, we want it right by the words there, okay? So once this one's down, the other one's so much easier. You can see it's coming together quite quickly now. So I'm gonna overlap and I'm gonna have this one in this corner, but I think I wanna put that leaf like right in that corner. And you can see that I'm putting that up like that. Now I'm gonna give that a second to dry, and I'm gonna actually put 2 mini dimensionals. I'm gonna pull the backs off of them while I'm waiting. And it's overhanging the end of the scalloped contour die. So because it is, I want to reinforce it. I always put, I don't like sagging on my cards. I'm kind of really particular about that. So I'm gonna lift this up. See how it sticks up beyond that? Oops, I didn't pull the back off of this one. I thought I had. Okay. I'm gonna put that one right there. And then now my rosette has support on both ends. All right, so this flower here is going to be popped up, which means on this end it needs double pop-ups because this is already lifted up because of the scallop contour. So I'll explain what I mean. Hopefully you understand. If you do have questions about this, please leave it in the comments. Let me know. So we're going to pull those off, and then I'm going to put another one on top. That's what I mean by doubly stacked. Okay. And I'm going to pull the backs off of both of those. So now I have 2 sets because it needs it because this is raised up already, okay? So now I'm going to get a regular dimensional. And I'm going to attach one there and one there. And these don't need to be double popped up because they're going to be lifted because they're already lifted up on this scallop contour die. So we're good there. Let's just pull. I have such a hard time pulling them this way. I don't know why I don't grab my take your pick tool. It's because I'm in a different place creating, and I don't have my stuff where I normally have it, and so I keep looking for it where it normally is, and it's not there. I keep losing everything on this table. All right, so there is that flower right there. All right. So next, we're gonna tuck this one in. I'm gonna put it at the bottom because we're gluing it down, but I don't need much, okay? So what we wanna do is make it disappear enough that it sticks out, but you can't tell that it is a partial. And see how pretty that looks? So we have this little set pretty much done. I'm gonna trim the end off of this leaf, and I'm gonna put a little glue on there and kind of tuck it around. Let's see where I can put this. There we go. Yeah, right there. And then this one, we're just gonna put a little bit of adhesive on the end here, and I'm gonna put it right here, kind of overlapped. All right, so we're going to add a couple of these little smaller rosettes, okay? For the Flirty Flamingo, we're gonna just put, we're just gonna put 1 dimensional in the back. And then for the Full Strength Melon Mambo, we're gonna put 1 on the back. The other one is gonna be just multi-purpose Is that even a word? Okay, so I'm bringing this in like so, and I'm kind of tucking this flower in here underneath that scallop. So there we go. And then I'm going to adhere this piece onto the corner of this corner here, like this. I'm gonna actually put it all over, I guess. I need it on all of it. There we go. And this is the stamped off version. So I'm just gonna tuck it right here in the corner. And then this one, I found my take your pick tool, so let's use it. Is our last floral piece, our little smaller one. And I'm gonna bring this kind of down a little, but not too far down, right? It's gonna overlap slightly on my pink flower, kind of like that. And then the finishing touch is gonna be to do a little ink splatter. So I'm gonna bring in a big scrap paper because I don't want it on my work surface. And then I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna cover up, I don't want it on the sentiment. So I'm just gonna kind of put this little scrap that I have here to cover most of that sentiment. Actually, I'm gonna bring it in like that. Yeah. So it will cover that up. And then I don't know if you've ever done ink splattering with blender pens. So disclaimer, it can ruin your tips. So if you don't wanna ruin the tips, don't do that. I didn't bring my Stampin' Up markers. I tend to use that more for ink splattering, but because I didn't bring those with me on this trip to go see my friend, I'm using my Stampin' Blends, and I just want the disclaimer because I don't want you to say to me, you didn't tell me it was gonna ruin my Stampin' Blends. So what you're gonna do is you're just gently gonna take your tip and fling color all over your card onto the flowers, onto wherever you feel like it needs some love, okay? So there is the light pink, and now I'm gonna do the darker pink. This is actually Melon Mambo Light and Dark, but because we have the light and dark Melon Mambo on here, I think this is gonna be perfect. So that's the light tone, and then this is the darker one. And I'm just adding it over the top of some of the other, so that we have a little bit of light, a little bit of dark. And now I can lift this up. It's not on my sentiment. And there is, I can't thank you enough for your friendship. Let's move our scrap paper out of the way. And my little ink blotter piece of cardstock. You can see how thick our cardstock is. I stamped on it, didn't even go through. See, fantastic cardstock, right? Stampin' Up is the best. Okay. Let me get everything back in place, and then I will talk to you a smidge more. So we have my artistic dies, artistically inked and perennial postage, and my cards that are my way of saying thank you to my friend who was such a special part of my life. I know that she would have liked to have had me make a card like this. So thank you guys for being a part of my video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And I will link the Tuesday video in the corner of this video. Artistically inked and artistic dies, as well as perennial postage, is on the last chance list, and also scallop contours dies as well. I forgot about those once again. So those as well, I'm gonna stick them on this side, okay? So the scallop contour dies as well are on the last chance list, so don't forget about that. But I really appreciate you guys being here with me, letting me talk about my friend. It's really healing to be able to talk about how wonderful she is And I just ask again that you pray for her family. And thanks again for being here. I appreciate you so much. The people that follow me are so special to me. And that's why I felt like this was a safe enough place to share my feelings for this person that I have learned to love over time. Thanks again. This is Kelly with Inky Hands Warm Hearts. Happy stamping.